Come on, baby, we're nearly there. Oh, did it again. Hey guys, hope you're doing super well. So we're on site in North London. It's a little bit bright out here, but what we're installing is a new car park, or at least a new line to the car park. Now I am slightly concerned because we've got some hydroblasting going on. Let me show you. Now with the hydroblasting, normally a nice tidy job. This one, however, has created a little bit of debris and mess, as you can see, but we're going to space them out ever so slightly differently, so a different layout to go on here. We've got some EV bays to go this side to go with the new chargers they've had installed, and then we've got van bays and some of the larger parking areas as well. Now as you can see, when the hydroblast goes over, you can see the old lines and the sort of damage it's done to the tarmac. So this is a big concern for me. I've just got to site to see the guys doing it. So we've got another company in helping us out. Now they've assured us they're going to fix it, so hopefully we're all good. But you can see just like these areas here, a little bit of damage. So the skate is just kind of going back and forward over the lines. It'll rub everything out. And we're going to take all of the lines out along here. And then we're going to take all of these lines out. Sorry about the noise. These lines here are going to come out as well. Now these should be going in line with the curb. However, we've just remeasured, and actually the measurements they've given us bring it out to here on the existing line, but it goes off at a little bit of an angle. So we're taking out all of these parking bays that you see along here, and then they've extended the back ever so slightly with a bit of tarmac, same on the corner along here. And then we're just getting set up this side. What we're going to do is start pulling in the MMA line markings that we're using today, and then once that's in, I mean, they're not hydroblasting this side, we'll be able to move around once they sort of complete the rest of it, if you like. So the central bays, they're drying out quite nicely. We have got some drying equipment with us, but to be fair, you know, it's a lovely day. It'll dry out naturally on its own. So we're just going to leave it as is. But right now I'm going to pull some of these lines in, and yeah, we're going to go for the MMA on these ones. So first lines are going down. I really do like MMA, it's such a lovely product. Now it's expensive in comparison to thermoplastic. It costs us probably twice as much money for the paint, but when you look at how much it costs you to operate a thermoplastic lorry, I've got the gas, I've got the fuel, I've got the license, I've got, you know, everything. Plus the lorry does like 10 miles per gallon. We're actually using the 5900 for this one, because the 59 will spray absolutely everything. I think it's just the perfect all-round machine, to be fair. It's light enough, it's cheap enough, it's got a blockage. Look at that, as I'm literally saying how amazing it is. It goes in blocks, literally, as I'm commenting how much I love it, bloody well does that to me. So what we can do with this, we can keep it all attached. I'll show you. We're going to spin the gun tip at the front, if you want to turn the tip lead. And then all we're going to do is tilt this back, pull the trigger, fire it through, we're all good. Back into the tin again, just make sure it's all good, back into the tin. We're good to go, job done. Yeah, looking great. Now the glass bead, we just blow off at the very end. You need it to cure for about, I don't know, an hour I would leave it on at least. I mean, the longer you can leave it on, the better. But obviously it looks a little bit powdery, so people don't like leaving it. But it also gives it the retro-reflective finish. So if you guys can see, it's kind of shining back already. So the glass bead's coated in a peroxide. The peroxide is what aids the curing, but the glass is what gives us that reflectivity. So I'm going to grab the glass bead, drop it straight on top of this. Literally, for these ones, we just pull the trigger, and it drops out like that. Now you do get a lot of wastage, but that's just what it is. Hold it lower to the ground. So we get a little bit of paint in between the drain covers, not on them, and there we go. And the problem we've got here, we're changing the direction of the bays. They're actually going to go in sideways, sort of on, and so it's going to overlap in some areas, so we can't get all the bays in, but we'll get a few lines in if we can do, and hopefully it'll look pretty good. So this is what we'd normally do. So we'd have a set of plans printed out like this, and it's on a nice laminate sheet, so that basically we know what we're installing. So we've written on what we're doing, where we've highlighted it, and then we just literally laminate the whole thing so that if it gets wet, covered in paint or whatever, we can just clean it off. But that's what we like to do with all of our plans when we're installing anywhere. It's not always that we can do that. For this one we have got the plans as well, like I say, And we tend to use, believe it or not, it's we don't have an in-house designer, CAD designer or anything like that. We actually use Fiverr for things like this, because you can go on, you can get someone for like 20, 30 quid to basically do the plans for you, and we'll send them the car park with like a rough drawing where we've gone over, like on Google Earth, say, and like, this is what we want to do. We'll send it on Fiverr. Within 2 or 3 days, we've got the plans back, and it's 99% there. Usually there's, you know, 1 or 2 things that sometimes get lost in translation and need a slight little bit of a change, but on the whole, I'd say it works quite nicely using Fiverr for things like that. Come on, baby, we're nearly there. Oh, did it again. It's the end of the day. On a Sunday, it's had enough. This is our last tin of beads. Oh, we're down to a little 25% on the bottle. Almost out of gas. It's looking pretty good compared to what it looked like this morning when we got here, when it looked absolutely awful when they were hydroblasting. I mean, there's still a lot of damage to the surface. I don't know if grinding's better, hydroblasting. I mean, hydroblasting is normally quicker, but today it has taken an awful long time for them to do. They've been on this since 8:30 this morning, and they've only just finished. And it's 10 to 6. So they've been on it a long time. It's made an awful lot of mess. Plus we've then got to dry everything before we can paint anything. So I don't think hydroblasting has done a better job on this one. I think it's been quite damaging. Okay, so it's like 7 p.m. Sunday. We are about finished, which is nice. So behind me you can see there's the brand new parking bays. In fact, let me show you a quick overview of what we've done. So we've got EV bays over this side here with their custom logo for Ford. So they've got let's have a quick look, I'll show you what they look like. They're really, really big actually. So we've got all of those installed for them with a Wi-Fi signal above. So they're looking pretty cool. Then of course we've got our little no entry text. Say little, it's absolutely huge. Arrows, parking bays, more arrows. We've got the accessible bays here now. We didn't know that we were putting accessible bays in, so we actually didn't have the stencil with us. Now, if you're doing it in thermo, super easy just to hand do it, but given that this is spray, not so. Anyway, so we've not bothered doing those. We'll have to come back. We're actually coming past here on the 18th, so we figured we could probably drop in and just do them then. We've got an extra little bay on the corner here for them, and right into the corner that you can see up here as well. So we're just literally putting away the stencils for these guys so they can keep them if they ever want to use them again. They may put more EV bays in, I guess, certainly as they become more popular. But yeah, they are absolutely huge stencils. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this one, and we'll see you guys in the next one. It's Saturday morning, it's about 11:30, and this is actually our second project of the day today. I'm helping Lee out. We're installing lorry bays, some hatch bays, a couple of loading bays. In fact, here's Lee here. I'll show you exactly what we're doing just around the corner. So Lee's on the Graco, and all we've changed that one to a red just now, and then we've got yellow hatch markings I've just put in here. Now, I haven't pulled bay LB3 in because we've got a lorry coming out, so there's enough room for him to get between the van and the trailer, pull out, and then I can go across and finish that. There's also the last little hatch line here. Now, because we're using an acrylic, this takes around half an hour to dry, give or take. So we need to wait for this to cure, then I can pull that line in. I can't put that line in first because my front wheel would go over it as I pull the lines in there. And of course, we can't get right to the very end where the Armco is, so we're gonna have to get a bit of wood, just line it up, and then we can spray in between. But yeah, looking pretty good. This is a really good job actually. Now, the site's actually fairly big. I'll just show you around the front quickly where we're up to with that one as well. Isn't it always the way? Like, you think you've planned for this bay, everything's agreed, and then they want to come out the other one. These things happen no matter what sort of planning you do. It happens. So they want to use that bay because that's where the trailer is they need. We were told it was the other bay. All right, let me show you what Lee's doing. So we've got red going around this side, then we've got yellow going on. I've got a couple of arrows, a couple of loading bays, shed loads of hatching to put in. Then we're going around the front of the warehouse. We've got exactly the same to go around there. I think there's about a dozen lorry bays and 400 square meters of hatch line markings to go in as well. But yeah, Lee's just cleaning up, and then we're literally just going to paint all the yellow or the red. It's a really big area, this one. I'll show you in just a second when it's finished. So this is thermoplastic. It's been down about 2 years. Sorry, it's really noisy. It's been down a couple of years, but it's thermoplastic on concrete, which is why I hate thermoplastic on concrete. I always bitch and moan about it because look at it. It literally blows off with a blower. It's, you know, it's pointless in my opinion. This is where we need better products like MMAs. So it looked like it was all going really well. I've got the red paint in, got the yellow paint in. Appreciate it's a little bit hard to see on the phone, except I had a blockage on the spray tip. Now, whenever you have a blockage on a spray tip, you have to depressurize the system before you try and clear the blockage. Now, I'm well aware of that because I wrote a training manual for our guys on how to do it. However, I didn't do it, did I? So, I am absolutely bloody caked in red paint all the way down. Yeah, because I didn't bloody follow my own. Look, it's even on my head. It's on my glasses, it's on my head, it's on my face. All because I didn't listen, I didn't depressurize. It was so bad. You can, right, where I did it, I've got a big cleanup to do. Right, here it is. Look at the mess it made. All over the bloody car park. In fact, it's gone so far, that's where I was, right, when it happened. You can see where my legs were, like where I was standing, and it's gone sort of in between my bollocks, basically. And then it's come all the way over here, to this curb. Look, that's a good 10 meters, at least. The reality is, I make more mistakes than anybody. I really do, more than my guys ever make. And I don't mind if they make mistakes. You know, if I make mistakes, it's always a learning opportunity, and you have to learn from these things. So again, this lined up on the string line, 2 meters wide, and pull in up to the lorry bay again, and off trigger. And back on again. Looking good. I have to say, I do love doing jobs like this when it's an empty car park. You've got just freedom to do the whole job without any sort of interruption. It's great. All right, job done. It's the end of the day, right? End of the day, I'm doing the last line. Well, last of the red lines. So what we've got, yellow bays here, red hatching, and as we're going across doing these ones, somebody has gone all the way through it, painted a red bloody line through it, haven't they? I mean, obviously it was me, but you know, we'll blame Lee. It's looking pretty good. So yeah, quite happy with this one. But look, that's pretty much it for this week. I look forward to sharing some more with you guys next week. I think we're off to Cinch, which is a car shop-ish sort of thing. So we're off to Cinch for an installation and something else I can't remember, to be honest, but I'm helping out with those as well. So I will catch you guys in those ones, and I will see you all in the next one.